Imagine, for a moment, that the universe is not an empty expanse of wonder and opportunity, but a dark forest at night, a forest stretching into infinity, where every shadow holds a secret, and every rustle of leaves could mean your end. It is ancient, vast, and utterly silent. In T's forest, there are no friendly greetings, no calls of recognition, only the pervasive, suffocating quiet. This is a place where survival is the only law, and the darkness itself is a predator. Every star you see is not a beacon of hope, but the distant, deceptive glint in the eye of something unknown, something watching from the gloom. The nebulae, swirling with cosmic dust and gas, are not cradles of new life, but thick, impenetrable fog banks, perfect for concealing movement, perfect for an ambush. In this terrifying expanse, you are alone, and you are small. The air is thick with the tension you can feel in your bones, the unspoken threat of 1,000 unseen eyes, tracking your every move. This is not the cosmos of our dreams. This is a hunting ground, and the game has been afoot for eons. The silence isn't a sign of emptiness, it's a sign of caution. It's the sound of everyone holding their breath, praying they are not the first to be found. Asterisk, asterisk. Within this oppressive darkness, every civilization, every species that has ever crawled from its primordial ooze and gazed up at the stars, is an armed hunter. They are not explorers or philosophers. They are survivors, forced into a role they never chose. Each one is a solitary figure, stepping silently through the cosmic trees, their senses on a razor's edge. Their every movement is deliberate, calculated to make as little sound, as little disturbance as possible. They have learned, through bitter experience or cold, hard logic, that to be noticed is to be endangered. They cloak their worlds in technological silence, mask their energy signatures, and hold their collective breath, lest they betray their position. They are keenly aware that they are not alone in this forest. Other hunters are out there, Hustaskir just as cautious and just as deadly. The goal is not to make contact, not to share knowledge or culture. The goal is to remain invisible. The fundamental axiom of this universe is survival, and survival demands anonymity. They tread on fallen nebulae like dead leaves, careful not to crack a twig that could echo through the void. This is the grim reality of existence, a perpetual state of stealth, a universe-wide game of hide-and-seek, where the stakes are absolute. Asterisk, asterisk, what happens if a hunter, during their silent patrol, stumbles upon another life form? Imagine you are that hunter, peering through the suffocating blackness, and you see it, a flicker of light, a campfire in the dark. It is a sign of life, of technology, of intelligence. But in the dark forest, it is not a sign of a potential friend, it is a target. It is a monumental, fatal error made by a naive newcomer. The logic is as brutal as it is inescapable. You cannot know the intentions of the life form by the fire. Are they benevolent? Are they malevolent? You can't risk finding out. Any civilization you encounter is a potential threat. If they are technologically inferior, they might one day surpass you. If they are technologically superior, they may see you as the threat and eliminate you first. The safest, most logical course of action is to shoot, to extinguish the campfire from a safe distance, ensuring that this unknown entity can never become a danger to you or your own hidden home. There is no communication, no the first to reveal themselves is the first to die. It is a preemptive strike, born not of malice, but of terrifying, paranoid logic. The hunter raises their weapon, the crosshairs centering on the unsuspecting light. The only certainty in the dark forest is that a revealed position is a compromised position, and a compromised position must be neutralized immediately. Asterisk. Asterisk? And what of humanity? What is our role in this terrifying cosmic drama? We are the naive child, lost and alone, who has just lit a campfire and started to sing. We are shouting into the void, beaming radio signals, television broadcasts, and deliberate messages into the cosmos for anyone to hear. The Arecibo message, the void who records these, are not cautious whispers. They are jubilant, desperate screams for attention. We are like a crying baby in a forest filled with hungry wolves, broadcasting our exact location, our vulnerability, our very existence to any hunter who might be listening. Each radio wave that leaves our planet is another ripple in the pond, another twig snapped underfoot. We look at the silence of space and see a void to be filled with our own noise, our own hopes. But we have failed to consider that the silence might be a warning. The other hunters, ancient and wise in the ways of this forest, stay quiet for a reason. They know that the loudest sound is the one that gets you killed. While we search for friends, we may only be alerting predators to a fresh, easy meal. Our innocent desire for connection may be the very thing that signs our death warrant. The eyes in the dark have heard our cries, and now they are turning in our direction. The great silence of the universe, the Fermi Paradox, may have an answer far more chilling than we could have ever imagined. The silence is not peace. It is not emptiness. It is a terrifying high-stakes game of hide-and-seek, played out on a galactic scale. The reason we hear nothing is because the survivors know better than to speak. The stars are not winking at us. They are the muzzles of countless hidden weapons, aimed and ready. We have spent a century screaming our existence into a forest that has learned the value of being quiet, and we are left to wonder, with a cold, creeping dread, what will happen when one of the hunters, drawn by our noise, finally decides to extinguish our little campfire. The silence is the sound of fear, and we may be the only ones foolish enough not to be afraid.